The Methusala Star, the unified theories for the omniverse, the time before the Big Bang. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Edgar Allan Poe. I'm not a scientist or an astronomer. I'm a science buff with a lifelong curiosity about the multiverse. I've developed my own rational logical theory with what I consider to be enough observational evidence for the scientific community to critique my idea. This is what I think. Our universe is part of a multiverse. We have expanded it into another universe. This is how we have stars in our universe older than our universe itself. The Methusala Star is a star from an earlier universe. That is why it's been aged at 16 billion years and the Big Bang at 13.5 billion years. I believe that the Methusala Star is evidence of them on. What does a multiverse look like? String theory envisions a multiverse in which our universe is one slice of bread in a big cosmic loaf. The other slices would be displaced from ours in some extra dimension of space. Brian Greene. It has been suggested that a multiverse is like a loaf of bread, a succession of universes, one next to the other. Our assumption is more likely that the universe would be similar to Russian dolls. A universe is created inside another universe, inside a previous universe, and so on. At the center is a fresh black hole that will in turn cause the fresh expansion from that critical singularity event. The explosion of energy into the vacuum of space is what keeps the cosmos in motion and the universe to expand into one another. This is my current model of our known omniverse. My Einstein moment came when noticing that Carter M. Hart's 3D model of our universe actually had a universe within a universe without him noticing it himself. By reconfiguring the timeline, allowing for the creation of a new universe, and adding an expansion wave outside of our own universe, I seem to have managed to unify the theories of black holes, the Big Bang, and the theory of expansion inflation. As we can see in this theoretical rendering of our universe done by eminent scientist Carter M. Hart, he clocks the Dark Ages as a universe gone transparent or an empty space. I have expanded on Carter's illustration of our universe to include observations I believe he may have missed. What is dark energy? Space is dark energy. Dark energy is the exact opposite of energy. Dark energy is tiny vibrating filaments of energy that vibrate opposite to energy we interact with. Big bangs are powerful enough to flip some dark energy around and backwards that creates energy capable of forming matter. Energy vibrates in strings according to string theory. Antimatter is matter flipped over horizontally. Its vibrations smash against matter, destroying it. Dark energy is a string theory particle that is flipped around horizontally. It is still going in the exact opposite direction of energy, but going in the same way. It is through this opposite, not negative, interaction with dark energy that the universe is kept in motion. The Big Bang creates huge amounts of dark energy particles and relatively small amount of our energy particles. I believe the reason we cannot detect dark energy is because it is vibrating in the opposite direction. We look for waves vibrating towards us. These waves are always pushing away from us. Build detectors to detect energy pushing away from it, and this is how we will find dark energy, I believe. Space has invisible properties which keeps the universe suspended in it. It is three-dimensional and is almost like an invisible interactive cosmic jello with the universe suspended in it. It can ripple and twist, and we now know the physical events can create gravitational waves through space. Space is not expanding between the galaxies. The galaxies are flying out at different angles into space, giving it that appearance. Space is being flung out into space as a ring universe, getting faster each time it's pushed. The below diagram theorizes that the creation of a universe in the multiverse explains why our universe is not speeding, but being pushed forward, and that the galaxies are speeding away from each other. In my expanding ring universe, some fly off at different speeds, angles, and distances. Space has three dimensions and is not flat as has been surmised by astrophysicists. New school of thought imagines the planets orbiting the sun because the sun makes an impression on the fabric of space that the planets ride, and that this impression in space is gravity. This cannot be true, as if it was, Pluto would follow the same impression in space, whereas Pluto's orbit is far off the plane of the rest of our solar system. Scientists surmise that the Big Bang and creation of new space is still happening now. I think space was created, the galaxies are suspended in it, and space is being pushed forward by more space being created by fresh Big Bangs. What is the omniverse? The omniverse is everything. Our universe, the multiverse, all of space, other multiverse, and other omniverse. We assume omniverse will not be the end of the celestial chain of discovery. What is a universe? A universe is the physical result of a specific cataclysmic event in space caused by the quantum fluctuations during the singularity of a white hole, i.e. Big Bang. This cataclysmic event creates new space. The byproduct of the event is all the matter that has been compressed into pure uncontrollable energy under the unimaginable gravity of a black hole gone white. White holes occur when the protons and neutrons physically compress and all of their components touch and repel. The explosion creates space, i.e. dark energy. The cloud of supercharged energy that was once matter will congeal and form a new universe in a newly created space, i.e. energy matter is made of. What is a multiverse? The multiverse is hypothesized to be a universe inside a universe inside a universe, much like Russian dolls appearing one inside one another. We see these examples regularly. We see it in wood. We see it in water droplets. We see it in huge explosions. If we see such examples regularly, why would we not presume the same model works on a much larger scale? How large is a universe? We have no idea how large a universe is. We can see about 93 billion light years across our universe. It would seem natural to assume that all universes expand indefinitely. We should then assume that a universe can be a multitude of and also change sizes depending on the conditions of space. A grain of salt could be as much of a universe as our universe could be a grain of sand. Why do black holes become white holes? We know now that black holes are not inescapable. Stephen Hawking theorizes that positive mass particles radiate from them like heat, while the negative mass particles fall to the bottom of the black hole. These negative particles violently whirlpool into the black hole until its masses become so small and condense into one singularity, and all of the energy fuses together as one. Suddenly the black hole becomes a white hole and explodes, with the energy of the explosion creating new space. This is based on Hawking's observations. Mathematically, the square root of 9 is 3, and minus 3 is also a square root of 9. It means that 9 does not have one square root but 2. Einstein states that if mathematically two things can be the same but polar opposite, a white hole and a black hole can also exist, even at the same time. I don't really understand it, but I think it was either Alex Filashenko or Brian Greene who explained it. I use the term white hole only referring to its flash and immediate explosion. The fecund universe theory by physicist Lee Smolin suggests that every black hole in our universe causes the formation of a new universe and they regularly die out. Although this theory has been discounted, the white hole theory has gained attention, thus allowing some black holes to be the mother of a new universe in a multiverse for my theory. Our assumption that every once in a while black hole does store up enough energy and that it has no choice but to explode. What is singularity? The space between the electrons and the nucleus of an atom are astronomical, similar to the proportions we experience in our solar system. Black holes spaghettify all matter that comes into its gravitational pull. All energy, matter is energy, is pulled into an atom-thin strand which gets wrapped around the spinning black hole almost like a piece of elastic being wound into a ball. Once all the energy is compressed to touching and the strands of energy vibrating as one singularity, we have a Big Bang. Similar to nuclear fusion, the energy release is greater than applied. Gravity is a weak force compared to the magnetic force. Imagine, for one moment 100 gazillion magnets literally touching each other. The external force of everything is keeping all of them touching each other, yet every single one are compelled to repel, i.e. singularity. Each of these particles of energy are vibrating at very high frequencies. Imagine if one of the magnets near the center suddenly shudders a little bit and splits free, causing a chain reaction that causes all the magnets to suddenly repel and fly out in all directions. This is what we believe happens in a Big Bang. So it's not about inflation, it's about the creation of space. And it's not about Big Bang, it's Big Bangs. In order for something to inflate, we must have a lot of extra stuff to put into it. This could not have happened. Somehow, during the Big Bangs, space gets created and not inflated. What is dark flow? We have seen dark flow in action in space. We are witnessing an unprecedented number of galaxies, even clusters of galaxies, all traveling in one direction, spanning billions of light years across space. This force is pulling everything to one point, is dark flow. Yet the laws of physics say this cannot happen. We surmise that this dark flow is the gravitational force of an unknown colossal black hole. We know of no other force that is strong enough to actually draw clusters of galaxies closer. Where is dark flow glowing? The Great Attractor is a gravitational anomaly in intergalactic space within the vicinity of the Hydra-Centaurus supercluster at the center of the Lanisinki supercluster that reveals the existence of a localized concentration of mass of tens of thousands of times more massive than the Milky Way. We think that this might be what we have been looking for. The band of dark age space is actually the beginning of creation. The subsequent matter being ejected is the secondary smoke cloud of energy that is produced and jettisoned off into the space, not having reached this or the next area of dark age in space yet. As at the edge of our universe, we should also have another band of empty space that separates our universe from the next. This is illustrated in the two images of our known universe below. This would explain where the dark ages of space came from. It seems to me the dark ages are in reality the very center of our universe. There are no parallel universe, just a multiverse. As a new universe is created, the outer universe suddenly becomes larger through the new space caused by the sudden Big Bang. When we look at black holes reaching the size illustrated in the above, we can imagine an explosion so large and violent that a new universe, big or small, could be created. Do you really think that we would be flying through space at millions of miles an hour after billions of years if it wasn't for a strong push every once in a while? Will a child swing endlessly, or do you have to keep it moving? My theory would imply that the current theory of the universe will eventually collapse on itself may not be correct, as the endless creation of a new universe would forever fuel expansion. This would result in universe after universe flying outwards, losing their heat, energy, and becoming cold and still. This is how we should now look at the creation of our universe and our position in the multiverse. We could be the newest or the oldest universe. We most probably just one of the possibly. Our universe is infinite, yet could also be finite, and the size of a fleck of dust at the same time. Size is only a figment of what we perceive. I surmise now that the Big Bang, expansion, and multiverse theories are unified. We will have a clearer idea of the story of origins or the origins of everything. There will be an end to our multiverse, with each universe having less matter in it than the last. It could mean that a Big Bang may even produce more matter than it consumes, but eventually the last black hole will not have enough matter to consume and will probably remain black.